Let's go Minnesota.
Do we give the Panthers some serious credit for at least winning 2 games against the Lightning?
I mean, without a goalie, basically, except for the kid. And the series that had the Leafs been either team would have sent us into spontaneous combustion. The amount of, you want to talk about the series that got the farthest away from the refs. That series was an abomination.
How is that? How does that happen? How does a series get away from you as a ref? Every game's different. Like I see a game.
You just don't do your fucking job.
How do you lose a series? How do you lose an entire series?
Yeah. You ever just gotten into work and been like, I don't feel like it today?
Yep.
What if that was every day for you and you worked in Florida?
Who are the referees in this series? We could probably look that up, right?
I mean, the officials in that series should be leaving Florida with a tan and a horrible reputation. You got
to get specific here for people that miss
the amount of shit committed against Ryan McDonagh, the amount of shit that Ryan McDonagh committed, the Duclair and Kucherov thing. There was a missed call on Bennett before the suspension, if I remember. It was just warfare. It was just lawless. It was lawless out there, and it's a series that didn't need it. It's a series that could have been high scoring, high octane, high intensity, high toughness, and just it felt like 25% of calls were called. It was brutal. Some of the stuff I've seen, particularly with Ryan McDonagh involved, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, and not even a word afterwards. Or there might have been like a $5,000 fine or so, which we already count as nothing. It's nothing.
It's not even worth tweeting about.
No. How often do we bring it up? Never.
It's not a punishment.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Yeah, I always remember years ago, I think it was the HBO 24/7 for the Leafs Red Wings, and Jerry D'Amigo, the rookie, got stuck with a bill at dinner because they did the credit card game and he lost. And this kid who's been a Leaf for exactly 2 minutes and was previously making like $60,000 a year. They're like, you got to pay for dinner. And I assume it was more than a $5,000 receipt.
By the way, I hope the Leafs dressing room doesn't do that anymore, because that's fucking shitty, by the way.
I agree. And we don't know what happened afterward. Who knows? They might have been like, here you go, kid.
I don't know.
Because if I was Jerry D'Amigo, I'd be like, I literally cannot pay this.
This is the team that literally was like, no, let's not salute the fans. I didn't even believe it. It was so ridiculous at the time that when people were like, oh, like when media guys were like, they didn't salute the fans. Bullshit. And I was like, wait a second. The team wouldn't do that. They wouldn't actually do that. And I remember talking to CJ about it later on. He was like, oh no, they did that. That was intentional.
Yeah.
They were pissed with the fans and they wanted to send a message. Absolutely intentional.
Well, I've heard that from many sources. Yep. Many.
Yeah. So that is the type of team that would stick a fucking rookie with that tab. That's shitty, man. You're losers. You're a bunch of fucking losers. No wonder they didn't win anything. Sorry. It's belated. I hated that era of the Leafs. And the further we get away from it, the more I realize how much I fucking hated it.
It was terrible. I defended that team at the time because I was like you going, there's
no way.
It's impossible. Yeah. That's the most cartoonish. No, surely these millionaires wouldn't do that after a win.
Adult millionaires.
It was after a win.
Yeah.
Like that was what are you mad about?
See, we can win something, you little fucking. It's like, we're paying your salary, bro.
A regular season game. Hang it on your fucking wall. Sorry. Why are we yelling at this team that was 8 years ago?
Because I'm still mad at Lightning.
Yeah, Panthers Lightning.
Yeah, my bad.
So
I think we made that about the Leafs.
We give it to the Panthers for pulling 2 out of this. Good learning experience. Man, what an effect Joel Quenneville's had. They have got to figure out that goaltending situation, though.
One thing Elliott also said today was that they are probably going to make every effort they can to trade Bobrovsky this offseason.
To who? For what? He said before they traded him.
They have to make the effort. Seattle?
I mean, that would be the first call, but yeah, give me every first round pick forever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What do you? I guess all these teams, and this does affect the Leafs actually. All these teams who signed all these deals, like Matthews' deal, like Marner's deal, like Bobrovsky's deal, all these teams who signed deals with the assumption that the salary cap was going to go up, they're just screwed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
5 years.
That's the risk you take.
Yep.
That's the risk you take.
Jesus.
By the way, I don't believe the salary cap's not going up for 5 years.
I don't believe it either.
I think that's a load of hog shit. And I think probably after this coming season, we will hear talk about the salary cap going up. You got new TV deals kicking in. You got a bunch of excitement. You're going to have advertisers paying more money for stuff at the rink in terms of what's on the ice and what's on the boards and what's on the helmets and the jerseys. Give me a break. That the NHL is going to rake money in, and they're going to have full buildings because people are actually going to be allowed to go in.
Yeah.
Look how crazy it's been already. There's no way.
Every building in the NHL will be allowed to have fans. I don't know about full capacity, but by next
It'll be full
October,
capacity.
you think in Ontario?
Yeah.
Well, we fucking suck up here with this shit. But in the cities that matter, in the cities that actually matter in terms of like real revenue for the NHL, it's the American cities. All of them will be allowed. Up here, it'll be like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. You've each had 40 shots of, I'm just not sure. Don't know. Worried about my election rather than, worried about letting people do their thing.
Today's Doug Ford press conference was the first one I didn't even watch a clip of. Just like, fuck off, Doug. I don't want to hear it today. Leave me alone. The Leafs lost last night. I don't need to hear you too.
And by the way, before anybody gets on me, I'm all for being safe too. Period.
Same.
We've just had a total bungling of this shit in Ontario. So I'm so sick of even talking about it. But in terms of where the NHL is going to make the majority of its money in the United States from the US TV deals, and frankly, where they have the most amount of growth available to them. Their biggest opportunities in the United States. You know that, I know that. God, if Buffalo iced a half decent team that almost made the playoffs, that's going to be an enormous bump in revenue for the league because that's one of their highest rated big money markets. Buffalo.
What team in the NHL needs the hand of Gary to wash over them and bless them more than the Buffalo Sabres?
Gary will make something happen.
Yeah.